Welcome to Marketing Management, Marketing Planning or Marketing Plan. This presentation is about how to write a marketing plan as part of the assignment, but I think that also people outside the class will enjoy hearing and seeing how to write a good marketing plan. My name is Thorsten Strauss. My contact details are on the back. The table of content. First we will talk about why we plan in part of an introduction, a little bit about when to plan, the different steps or the nature of marketing planning, what makes a good plan, what is really a blueprint of a good plan, and then we will go step by step through one of those plans. One note from myself: if you see this embedded somewhere, if you don't see it on YouTube directly, I suggest you go on YouTube. You see the link right here, and you leave the annotations on. The reason being that in the future I will probably add to this presentation, and I will give more details about part of this presentation, and those will be available via the annotations. That means something will come on screen and you can click on it, and you will get more background about this part in a different presentation. That will then provide you further layers of information. So it's best to watch it in YouTube directly, and if you have it embedded, you might not see all these links. And also in YouTube, I will put links to further parts in the description. So in case you don't see it on screen, it's in the description, but the description might also not be visible when you look at it in embedded, like on LinkedIn, SlideShare, or somewhere else. Let's get started. Why do we plan? Well, why do we actually have marketing planning or marketing plan? Very simple. Failing to plan is planning to fail. This is a very famous quote. Depending on how you research, some people say it's attributed or accredited to Churchill. Some say it is accredited to Franklin. It's not really clear who said it. I tried to find out, but it's not totally clear. If somebody has final proof, please email me. I'm happy to change this part. What's really important is if you think about it, it's like going on a camping trip. Yeah. If you go for one day, it might be not so complicated, and you can quickly put everything together in the car and it's fine. But let's say you go on a camping trip with 4 people for 3 weeks and you only have 1 car. Then you need to start thinking exactly what do you need every day, what do you need for food, what do you need for shelter, what do you need for excursions or trips you will take. You have a finite resource, that is your car, for transport. You have requirements and needs for the people and activities you want to do, and you need to find a balance. And that is really what marketing planning or any type of business planning is about. You have finite resources, and some of these resources are, of course, money. You cannot spend unlimited amounts of money. But even more important, and people often overlook this, and I'm a practitioner, I come from 12 years of practical experience, people forget that there's also limited hands, minds, and time. Time most people keep in mind, but also hands and mind. People cannot juggle 20 different things in their mind. So there needs to be a plan on what is important and when something is important, which is the implementation plan, and when it is not. And by looking at the resources you have, and by scheduling them out, and by planning them out towards the objectives you want to reach, then you will quickly come to a situation where you need to balance those two things. And naturally, you always want to do everything. You want to grow the business, you want to make it more profitable, you want to innovate, you want to communicate with more people, you want to increase your customer relationships, but it is not all possible. And nobody likes to say no, and therefore you really should consider at least a shortcut form of the marketing planning. You don't have to write a 100-page marketing plan, but not planning is really ending up in trouble because your resources are spread too thin, your money is not optimally invested and bringing the optimal return, and you're just also not getting anywhere because every day you get really loaded with emails, requests, and operational and short-term types of problems that the major strategic advancements often fall short. And of course, a big one is to avoid and reduce risk, that you are not surprised, that you have thought through some scenarios, and in a marketing plan you should have a risk part and a contingency part, which most people skip, but I say it is worthwhile the exercise just in case. And as Shell, which is one of the companies that excels in this type of planning, having a good contingency plan, at least having one for a major reputation disaster, like on Twitter, Facebook, some customers are upset. That type of response plan you should have for online marketing if you are online, and I think most businesses by now are online. So those are the three reasons, because they are of course balanced against the focus and the requirement to maximize profits. So you must maximize profits, not only want to, but that is probably given, unless you are in a government type of institution or in a non-profit institution. Then you really have to do a marketing plan because of limited resources, or still because of achieving your objectives. So what is a marketing plan? The marketing plan is the central instrument for directing and coordinating the marketing effort. So you have here two critical words. One is direction, and that is already very important. And I want to stress this very simple definition here, because when you're in the field and when you're in reality, this is really not as simple as it sounds. Because you ask three different executives, what are the top three priorities, or what is the most important thing in marketing, or which are the customer groups and which one to go first, and very often you get very different answers if the company is not aligned. And a marketing plan forces this alignment. So you're going in the same direction and you're aiming at the same targets. And then the coordinating part is the execution part. The directing part is the strategic part. After the analysis, why are you doing this? In order to maximize the outcome, of course. And the coordinating part is the how-to part. And the coordinating part is the implementation and execution part. Today we will talk about when you will plan, what a marketing plan contains, how to do it, and I will show you not only the elements, but I will also guide you a little bit in how to best go about it, or I give you some suggestions. That doesn't mean that's the only way or this is the most appropriate way. That is what I think is, giving the limited time we have and giving my experience, is what works. There's other ways to reach the goal. I talk about the process of marketing planning and the marketing plan, again about the elements, and then I have an example, not in this presentation, but I will upload that for distribution, and I will make a reference where that is available. So now we talked about why we plan, and the next part will be about when to plan. I'm going to cut these in individual parts, so each part will have its own presentation. And at the end of the presentations, I usually show my contact information. So since this is the first one, you can reach me on LinkedIn under Thorsten Strauss. You can find me on Twitter under How to Market MKT. For academic contact, please contact me at the University of Antwerpen. Otherwise, you can reach me under How to Market. Who am I actually? Well, I worked as an executive, consultant and lecturer, born in Germany, educated in the United States with a bachelor and an MBA, executive MBA in Denmark. I worked in Americas for several years as well throughout Europe, and had a geographic expansion project in the Middle East. Worked extensively there and have been to Asia quite a few times, and I'm familiar with some of the concerns over there and the traditions. I've worked as product manager, European marketing manager, and global marketing director, and I've led, and these are only three, but I've led several projects, and later on that was also the foundation for my consultancy basis. That's all. Next part.